working with Steve Mariucci, it's damn near a man versus food every single time I see him when we're off the air. Mooch, how are you,
You're getting
Steve?
me hungry. I'm salivating like Pavlov's dog just listening to man versus food.
Is it possible Big Ben audible to out of sneaks? I mean, walk me through those 2 4th and inches calls that came back to haunt Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they really did. Did somebody insist that he audibled? I didn't hear that.
No, I mean, the first time there was, I'm just asking because.
I don't think so. I think that was the play call. I think we all. Here's the thing, and I just heard all of what you just said about the Falcons play calling and the Pittsburgh play calling and whatnot. Sometimes coaches want to use the element of surprise, okay? Like, hey, they're not expecting this, so that's what we're going to do. They're expecting a quarterback sneak, so we're going to do something different. And sometimes it works, and then you're a hero, you're called a genius, and sometimes it doesn't work, and you're called a bozo. And so, I thought they would sneak it. I probably would have called sneak. Tom Brady, your guy, Tom Brady, I think he's had like 100 sneaks. You look it up, and he's made 98 of them or something crazy, all right? And Big Ben, you read off 18 out of 19. And so that's what I was expecting. That's what I think, Jags were expecting. And then they flip it outside and lose 5 yards. It's like, what? And then another one later on. It's just amazing. You try to use the element of surprise sometimes, and it didn't work 2 times in a row on 4th downs for the Steelers.
Well, Malcolm Jenkins of the Eagles said they practiced 6 times during the week against the play call that Steve Sarkisian and Matt Ryan employed on that 4th down play, knowing the hash mark and knowing I guess there's film study. And so what did you make of that 4th down play on Saturday night, Steve?
Yeah, just because they practiced it doesn't mean that you're going to stop it. Because that's, when you play the West Coast offense, Rich, you practice against sprint option, okay? Sprint right or sprint left option. And there are a lot of different formations and different ways of getting to it. I like the way they did it. I don't criticize the call at all because it should have been a touchdown. They got double coverage on the slot guy, Sanu, for some reason. They got single coverage on Julio. That's what you would pray for in a situation when you're trying to win the game, a one-on-one with Julio Jones. They cut the edge with a motion tight end. I like that way of doing it. He blocked the back edge. He wasn't part of the progression. Okay. Matt Ryan looked back to him when he fell down just out of desperation. He's not part of that whole thing.
Okay.
It's the front side. And Julio Jones slipped. He slipped. If he looks up for the fade, plants, drops his shoulder pads, and comes back to the pylon, they probably win that game. And I mentioned we talked about it on the air. If you go back and watch Derek Carr and the Raiders, they called a similar play. In fact, remember Derek said that was our play call, but I flipped it over to the left because we had kind of run something similar earlier in the game, and he threw a touchdown to win the game to Crabtree. It's a good call if you get single coverage on that. And so I'm not going to criticize the call. I'm going to criticize the execution on the play. And then even after the improvise, Julio Jones had a chance to catch that ball and went right through his hands, but then 1 foot was out of bounds, too. It was just, that's how it goes sometimes.
Steve Mariucci joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so let's get to it. I mean, the way that Viking-Saints game ended.
Oh, my God.
Well, you've been on the positive side of things with the New York Giant, I guess, fake or the fake kick and all that sort of business, but you were up on that one. On the botched snap. I mean, what in the world does Sean Payton do right now this morning, Steve?
I think he's got to just take a deep breath and go, we did everything we could to put ourselves, fight back from down 17 and get in a position to play great in the second half and get ahead. That thing changed leads 4 times in the last few minutes. What a spectacular game. Kale called me. She was driving home from San Francisco. She said, I was listening to it on the radio. I had to pull over because it was so exciting. I was losing my mind, and she had to pull over. She couldn't drive her car during that excitement. And so it's a fluky play. I feel bad for the kid that ducked under the tackle and missed it and allowed that touchdown. Maybe he thought he was going to get pass interference or something. And if the Vikings win the Super Bowl, okay, it turns into a play like the catch, where it's an iconic play forever and ever. Now, if they lose the next game, we kind of forget about it a little bit, you know. But if that thing turns into a Super Bowl win, that will be the reason they got there. It was a miracle in the U.S. Bank Stadium, and I still can't get over it. It was, oh, my God.
What do you say to the kid, Marcus Williams, who had a third-quarter interception that set things up for the Saints win? So what do you say to him?
Yeah, that's a hard one. You know, I don't know what he's going through today. You know, I don't know what he went through in that locker room, because everybody's looking at him like, what did you do? What was that? You know, and did any reporter put a microphone in his face?
They did, Steve, and he wiped the tears away. You could see he was red-eyed, bleary-faced, bloated face, and he stood there in front of his locker and answered every question.
What did he say? Was he trying to avoid? He didn't rap. He just tried to torpedo in there and cut legs out or something. What did he say?
Just that he would do a better job the next time. I don't think he really gave too much voice to the thought process, because I don't even know.
I feel bad for him, because it was you know, all he has to do, even if there's a catch, you know, make the tackle, and that's probably it, you know. But he missed, and it allowed the touchdown, and he wiped out his teammate who could have made a tackle.
Crawley was right there.
It was just awful.
I know. It was. He made a better tackle on his own teammate. I mean, it really is nightmarish stuff to watch it over and over and over again for a Saint.
Steve, and he had the interception in the game.
He did. I mean,
all right.
Hey, look, him and Lattimore and Crawley, guys in their first and second year in that secondary. It's another reason why, you know, the Saints have a tremendously bright future. It's just a bad time to pull a rookie rock, quite frankly. You know,
right? And then they drafted well, and then on the other side of the ball too, with the Kamara and Ramczyk, and you know, they got a lot of good young kids on there. They just got to hope and pray they can figure out a way to keep Drew Brees around another year or two, because this young Saints team is really talented, and if they can shake this off, they got to be able to shake this off. They did play well enough to come back and win. They really should have won, but a fluke play just beats them, and you got to just shake your head. It's a shame, but they got to find a way to get to next year.
Steve Mariucci and the Man versus Food Coaches conversation here on the Rich Eisen Show. Brockman is he's giddy, because he thinks, you know, all my Patriots had to do is beat Marcus Mariota. Now it's Blake Bortles and then two other guys who have never done it before for Brady to win his sixth. Walk me through. Which one do you think's got the best chance of beating New England? First up or second up? Which one?
Yeah, I think the Jags defense was exposed a little bit this week. You know, they have a great young defense too, but Big Ben just had his way. You know, he had 469 yards passing, and Brady's got to be looking at this and going, you know, we can complete passes too, and so, you know, I think at home they have a pretty, I don't want to say easy time, because the Jags, I just, texted Tom Coughlin to congratulate him, and he's crediting the coaches and the players like he would, you know, and they deserve to be here. It's unbelievable.
But in that said, Steve, stop right there. Do you? I mean, we all know the one guy who's prevented Brady twice when it looked like he was going to keep winning again. It's Coughlin. Does he have the secret sauce, and do the Jaguars have what he had at his disposal without obviously the Hall of Fame quarterback?
He had a good front, a defensive front that rattled Brady in the pocket. And does he have that kind of a front? You know what? He built his team to do this now with Calais Campbell and Malik Jackson and Marcel Darius. He really added to that front, and maybe it's for games like this. And then you talk about the two best pair of corners in the league too. You know, I mean, as long as, hey, how much have we been talking about all week about these two inadequate quarterbacks, Blake Bortles and Nick Foles? And you know what? They got the last laugh.
They did.
Both of them played good enough to advance to the championship game. My hat's off to those guys. They both played very well, and it was kind of like, hey, I belong here too. So defenses are good. But these two unexpected quarterbacks are all of a sudden playing good playoff football.
Well, let's finish up then with something that's also definitely not a fluke from the sporting weekend. That would be Michigan winning in the Breslin Center against your best man.
I thought we put that to bed.
Oh, no. That's still quite awake, Steve. Quite a week.
Yeah, I talked to Izzo, man. Maybe he's going to call in. No, he won't.
He lost my number all of a sudden, Steve? Is that what you're saying?
What?
He lost my number all of a sudden?
Yeah, the number's not on the top of his mind right now. If he would have won this game, maybe he'd have had a call, and I don't know. But you know what the worst part about it? The worst part about that whole loss? They don't get a chance to play Michigan again in the regular season for payback.
That's a shame.
They're going to have to wait for the tournament.
That's a shame.
So anyway, he'll wait. Hey, you guys, you know what? You guys deserve to win that game.
Oh, you're so kind.
That was hard for me to say that.
You know, for you to say that, kind of almost, but really doesn't make me feel bad that I had a viral video of you being informed of the score, thinking you were taking a selfie, and then
wait a minute, I'm getting a ring. Izzo's calling in on the other line right now.
No, he's not.
He says, you know what to tell Rich. He said,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's good, Steve. It's all good,
all
man.
right.
All right, take care, bud. We'll see you for the monster meeting on game day morning on Saturday for Sunday show. Okay.
Tape your ankles. All right, bye.
Yeah, you bet.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.